Do do do. All right, we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 175 of Player Life. Are we living in a hookup culture? I don't know about that, but I don't think we are. Yeah, it is Thursday morning, the 23rd of September, here in Tokyo, Japan. Got my coffee. Yeah, all is pretty good. All is well. So just gonna play the trailer for Pandemic Pickup.
I don't want to overstate it, but a World Health official said the Delta strain is faster, fitter, and will move through communities more efficiently and pick off the unvaccinated.
The president telling Americans to expect more restrictions after internal CDC documents warn the war has changed.
Has increased from 12,431 to 42,323 in just a week. That's an increase of 243%.
Hey, you see this?
Here we go again.
The men are gonna need us.
They definitely will. This is getting crazy.
It's time to unite.
Let's do this.
All right, what is good? And that is the trailer for Pandemic Pickup. Launches on September 30th. I'm actually, I was actually I was supposed to be doing a live stream tonight, but something came up, so I just thought I'd jump on this morning and, get that live stream done. So today's topic is, are we living in a hookup culture? There's this idea that we're somehow in this hookup culture, and it's never been easier to get laid, and it's true in some senses, and it's not true in other senses. I mean, we're living in a gynocentric society, so for women, it's never been easier to get laid. It's never been easier for women, and because the whole social stigma, they have slut walks, slut marches, feminism. So basically, women have been given free passes to exercise their anything they want to do really in the sexual marketplace. However, that we all know that 100% of women are shooting for the top percentage of men, so it creates an extreme kind of imbalance in the sexual marketplace, and that's why it's not necessarily a hookup culture, because for men it's not for some men it's a hookup culture. For guys that have game, for guys that even some guys that don't have game, I mean, guys that are like genetically gifted, genetically win the genetic jackpot, maybe can, they have the model looks or whatever, and they have some reasonable social skills. Those kind of guys never really have to learn game. Well, they should learn game. It's important for everyone to learn game and understand female nature, or you can end up shooting yourself in the foot later in life, um, just by knocking up the wrong woman, getting yourself into trouble. Just a bunch of reasons, learning game is important for everyone. But yeah, some of these guys, will be able to hook up the top percentage of men without learning game. But then there's the guys who, they're not necessarily genetically, they didn't win the genetic jackpot. They're just like average guys, but they're above average in their understanding of women, and they're above average in their their understanding of game. And that means that, they're getting in on the pussy action too. But if they didn't have game, if they didn't understand female nature, they wouldn't be in that top percentage, But one person that talks about this very eloquently is Mr. Rolla Tomasi. So I want to share something he talked about. Okay.
Boguslav Parwalski and Robin Dunbar. 1999, evolutionary psychologist Boguslav Parwalski and Robin Dunbar, thank you, conducted a study of ads in which they objectively assessed the market value for particular age and sex classes of individuals. Okay, here's the meat. Here's the salient part, okay? They did this by dividing the portion of male and female advertisers seeking individuals of a given age, the demand, by the proportion of male and female advertisers of that age, the supply. As expected, they discovered that for women, market value peaks in their late 20s. While for men, it peaks in their late 30s. Accordingly,
garbage, absolute garbage. Market value for women peaks in their late 20s. Oh my god, I don't know. I that is just not true. In my opinion, like, nah, it's not even just my opinion. It's like blindingly obvious. Like, a woman pretty much, like, her market value peaks out at probably 21. Like I said it before, I'll say it again. There's a reason the store, the fashion brand is called Forever 21. Women, and that's a store aimed at women. Women know this. Like, women will admit they want to be 21 forever. Why? Because it's like their peak. You could even go younger, but like, I think 21 is a good age, because but by that, you could even say like 18, 19, I mean, there's absolutely some seriously smoke show 18-year-olds, but it's just like, by the time they're 21, they kind of understand how to, they've fully, they understand fashion, they understand what looks good on them, so they put themselves together very well. They at least should have, by the time they're 21. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like, for women, it's like a flash in the pan. It's like a flash in the pan. It's like, like, it's just it's a short thing, and late 20s, god, like, I mean, what, that is some joke. No, that's wrong. Women do not peak at their late 20s. They don't reach their, that is some serious bullshit. Gabber E in the house says Japan's #1 day gamer. You know it, brother. You know it. Yeah. But let's continue.
Ads posted by women and men in these age categories were those that received the most replies. They also found that women and men with high market value were more demanding and choosy, looking for more specific traits in a potential partner. Okay, so that's number one. That's from the book. Okay. Does that sound to you like this. Oh my goodness, that crazy guy Rollo Tomasi and his wacky sexual market value scale, his graph. Oh my goodness. Does that sound like right about where peak value coincides? Why, yes, it does. Yes, it does. There you go. Confirmation right there. Science confirms. So that's number one. Now I'm going to move on here. But if you want to check that out, it's called Games Primates Play. It's pretty good. Now this is the trending one here. Okay. So we have to look at this one. I'm pulling this data. Actually, let me just put this on screen because it's easier to do it. Where'd it go? And which one is that? Trends and frequencies. Here you go. This is a good one. Okay, this was a good one. I pulled this for today's show, particularly for today's show, because as I just showed you those sexist cohorts. Okay, trends in frequency of sexual activity and numbers of sexual partners amongst adults age 18 to 44. This is that study, 2000 to 2018. Nobody ever really digs into the meat of this, so I'm going to dig into the meat of it, and we got to get to the results here. So let's look at the results, because this is the part that I wanted to get to, and I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit here. But if you want this, you can find it at well, I'll put this in the description so you guys can go look this up if you want. Okay, so the absolute increase in sexual activity was more pronounced among men ages 18 to 24. In this age group, the proportions of those reporting weekly or more sexual activity and those reporting one sexual partner decreased. Among the ages 25 to 34, sexual inactivity doubled from 7% to 14%. And weekly or more sexual activity decreased from 65% to 50.3%. In men aged 35 to 44, sexual inactivity was largely unchanged during the study the study period, whereas a sexual frequency of 1 to 3 times per month increased slightly, and weekly or more sexual activity increased from 61% to 49%. Okay, got that. Now, here's the part where I wanted to get to. Among women, the distribution of sexual activity in the total age range remained stable during the study period. Digest that for a moment, okay? When analyzed by age group, okay, that's the age group part, and then there was a trend towards an increase in the proportion of individuals reporting 3 or more partners. This is in the female side of things, which was driven by women aged 25 to 34 years old. So this is from that study.
So basically, women are still getting laid, overall in general, and men are not. That is obvious. You can see that in plain sight. It's obvious that men are struggling to get laid in the current climate, because they've been fed a load of horse shit, by society, by Hollywood, by feminists. Be the nice guy, be the the stand-up guy, bring her flowers on the first date, just put her on a pedestal, just let her decide, let the woman be a boss bitch, let her lead. No, we all know this shit does not work. This does not work. I mean, most people don't think it does work, but it's why so many guys are getting left on the sidelines. And as a man, if you're not getting laid, it's gonna make you, it's gonna play on your mental well-being, because think about it, as a man, you're pretty much sex is it's pretty much always on your mind, and even when you're working, it's kind of in the back of your mind, and it's natural for that to happen, but you just kind of suppress it and get on with your work. You try and control your urges, but it's completely natural for that, for you to have those sexual desires. And if you're healthy and you have a healthy body, then you're gonna pretty much want to have sex every day. And if you're going weeks, months, years without being able to hook up, without being able to have sex, it's going to be that's not going to be good for you. That's not going to be good for your mental well-being. Not at all. And that's why there's guys out there that genuinely grow to really, like, really resent or hate women. And people are like, oh, you're a misogynist, oh, you hate women. No, I don't hate women. I'm just like being real about the realities, the facts, the truth about female nature, about male nature. I'm also critical of men. It's not like, if there's something to be criticized, I'll criticize it. I'm objective about things, but it's just like trying to spread the truth, like, the truth that will help guys out, help guys actually get laid. Not what the gynocentric social order tells us, will get you laid, because it's not. It's just they're basically like conflicting. They have conflicting interests. That's why women hate, like, guys. The idea of guys learning game, because they think that they're goes against the kind of natural selection. They think that they're being cheated, and it's not being like, it's not even like, I'm about telling guys that it's like, it's not only learning game, you have to also improve as a man. Like, MLD says money, muscles, game, frame. It's like, it's not only about game. It's not that's not the only element. It's like, you literally have to become a better man in order for you to, like, increase your probability of getting laid with hotter chicks. You don't necessarily need, you could be a bum, and you could have amazing game and get laid the odd time, but it's going to be kind of an uphill struggle. It's just better to have a solid foundation.
This is the part that they don't like. All these guys, like, and these are guys that I like follow on Twitter. All the guys who like show you, like, oh, here's the links. Go, you have a look at it. Have at it. They'll quote parts of it. They'll quote the parts that are like, young men aren't getting laid. Young men don't know how to socialize. Young men don't know how to take the girl to the dance. Bullshit. No, it's because this generation has had the least amount of sex and has the least interest in sex than any other generation that came before it. Certainly my generation. Gen X, right? So, but it's never been easier, or I should say this, it's never been.
It's not that it's not that, man. It's not that this generation has the least interest in sex. That's not it. That couldn't be it. I don't see how that could be it. It's the simple fact that women just have access to. Women have access to higher, like, guys that they perceive to be higher quality. They have access to the Chad guys on dating apps. So that, like, I'm convinced of this. Like, I'm convinced of it. I really think that social media and dating apps are really what this problem boils down to. I really, I believe it strongly that it's women that are average women that are hooking up with, like, Chad guys, just hookups. And these women, like, will refuse to get with a guy within their own league. This is what's happening. This is really what's happening. Like, it's women that are hooking up, like, average as fuck, like, 5 out of 10s, hooking up with fucking Tyrone on a Tuesday night when he's kind of bored and he just wants to fuck, when he just wants a pump and dump. She'll come right over to his place. She'll suck his dick. She'll jump on his dick, and they'll have sex, and then he'll throw her out. And then this bitch gets it into her head that she can, get a guy that's this good looking. She can bag one of these guys and turn him into a nice guy. This is what's going on a massive scale. It's like this is actually what's happening. Like, this is why they're leaving guys that are in their league. They're leaving even, let's say she's a 5, so she's going to punch up, obviously, because of hypergamy. she's gonna punch up to a 6 or a 7, you know. So even she even thinks she's too good for a 6 or a 7 out of 10 guy, sexual market value guy. And she's like, she thinks she's entitled to a like an 8, 9, or 10 guy. This is really actually what's happening. This is actually what's creating a crazy fucking imbalance in the sexual marketplace. And this is happening on a global scale. This is happening all around the world. Like in many countries, there's only a 10% of 10, 15, 20%, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but it's a small percentage of guys that are just going through these chicks, and because everyone's using social media, everyone's using these dating apps. Like even guys that never get laid from them still continue to use them. Like MLD says 10s aren't like 10 out of 10 girls aren't on dating apps. I don't know. I disagree with that. I agree with MLD about a lot of things, but like there's like, I think every girl is pretty much has used dating apps at some point, and most of them are still using them. So yeah, it's like 10 out of 10. I've seen plenty of 10s on dating apps. I mean, but yeah, I mean 10 out of 10s it's almost like they're gonna have too much. They're gonna have too much attention. It's like it's almost, it's like average guys will have a serious struggle to get any kind of attention on dating apps. Like if their profile is shit and whatnot, they'll really struggle to get like any matches. And then it'll be like trying to draw blood from a stone, trying to get a date or like get a conversation going. It'll be just like you'll be getting the scraps. It'll just be like this one, and it'll just be so few. If your profile is shit and you're kind of an average guy, you might even be an above average guy. You might be a pretty good guy. You might even be a 7 or almost an 8, like pretty decently good looking guy, or even a handsome guy. But if your profile is shit, if your photos look bad and maybe you're not photogenic, but maybe because a lot of guys don't know about aesthetics and how to put good stuff up. So even these guys will get like kicked to the curb by 5s out of 10. They'll get 4s out of 10. Girls that are 4s out of 10 will kick like handsome guys to the curb, like because they went to Tyrone's house on a Tuesday night because he was bored, and he fucking drilled her ass and then kicked her out. Now she thinks she can bag a guy like that as boyfriend material. It's just a matter of time. It's just mad delusion. This is happening fucking all around the world. And like if you do the math on these kind of like, if you scale out, and like this has an effect on society. Like this has this changes what's going on. And it's not to do with people have lost interest in sex. And there obviously is a soy, men have become soy. Men have become weaker. Men have gotten softer, but they're still jerking off. They're still interested in sex. They still want to get laid. They still want to fuck, It's not like they're just like, they still have the dating apps probably on their phone. They're just never getting laid from them. They're just swiping. They probably give up after a while, but yeah, it's just I just don't agree with this the idea, men have lost interest in sex, or they're too busy with video games. Yeah, it is kind of a contributing factor, but it's not the fucking meat and fucking bones of it, like really, it's really boils down to, honestly, in my opinion, it really boils down to the fact that women have access to top tier guys in terms of physicality, looks, that's honestly what it is.
Like for women anyways, the incidence of having sex, whatever, has either stayed the same or it's gone up for men is drastically, sexlessness has drastically gone up. That is not hookup culture. That right there should tell you something about when women fall, like this girl in the video, in the TikTok video, when she falls back on this stuff about, oh, you know, society this and culture that and social constructionism this and blah, 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 right? No, that's you being held accountable by your own actions. And you're upset about it, and right, probably understandably so. But it ain't hookup culture. And it ain't oh, poor guys. No, it's the guys you're selecting. It's the apex fallacy. Once again, it's the guys like men are pigs. Yeah, the ones at the top that you wanted to hook up with and that you thought you could turn from a booty call into the guy who's going to go home and meet your parents and kiss you in public and be official with you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And then you get that. It's funny that that's the romantic ideal right now. we're official on Facebook. Oh, did you dump or did you unfollow or ghost or delete all of your old boyfriends? No, but we're official on Instagram. I remember, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think there was like a trend or a hashtag or something where it's like women would not make guys official unless they put a ring on their finger or unless there was like some sort of real investment. And even then, they weren't like deleting their old boyfriend. They were still using them as like Instagram boyfriends. So the advertising, the opportunism, the sexual opportunism for women doesn't stop. So if this girl who's complaining about hookup culture really feels bad and really wants to get with a good guy, then is she still on Instagram? Is she still on Tinder? Is she still using these things? Or is she trying to do it the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, there's this, men and women are just not the same. We're not the same at all in any sense of the word it's just, we're just completely different. We operate in completely different ways. I mean, for women, it's just extremely easy. It doesn't require anything for them to get laid. I mean, they just have to put themselves out there. They could put up the worst, shittiest selfie on a dating app. They're just going to get inundated with offers, like just matches. They could even not even put up a photo and just have a female and an age, and they'd still get matches. It's absurd. The thirst is absurd, right? Don't underestimate it. It's heavy. It's like this idea that men are not interested in sex is absurd. Like that they've lost interest, even with all the soy out there and all the beta-sization of men. Men are still in, like, even the worst weakling twerp guys, they still want to fuck. Like, they still want to fuck. So, it's just not the same. So when you learn game and you start, improving as a man and you become higher value and you start getting laid and you start, like, girls start trying to lock you down, you should just, like, nah, it's just no. Like, it's not, like, you can't give up your freedom because we're not the same. We're not the same at all. Like, it's like women often project because they think it's easy for them to get laid. So they think, oh, it must be, well, deep down, if they thought about it for a second, they would know. But I guess they think, oh, it's easy for guys to get laid. No, it's like, it's really, really not. Like, it's just not the same at all. So, like, I don't believe in monogamy. Like, I've really come, like, totally to the conclusion that, like, being monogamous as a high value guy is, like, retarded. It's like, why would you do it? Why would you give up, like, your freedom, like your male imperative? Like, if you become high value enough and you have choice and, like, why would you become monogamous? Like, why would you allow some bitch to, like, what is she bringing to the table for you to be monogamous with her, to not, like, hook up with other women? Like, when it's one of the best things in life, like, one of the best things. I'm not saying it's the best thing, but it's one of the best things in life. Why would you give up, like, become this, like, priestly tradition, like, tradcon shit, where you're like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, fuck one pussy for the rest of my life? good Lord. That, like, you can disagree with me. Might sound like an extreme opinion to some people, but I'll stand by it. I don't give a shit. Like, be like fucking one woman for the rest of your life is like, that's as it's almost like joining the priesthood. It's almost like, being celibate. It's almost like that, because it's, yes, you can fuck one woman, but good Lord, it's going to get boring. Good Lord, you're going to be so bored by that person. It's like eating fucking rice for the rest of your life. I mean, if you haven't had rice in a while, if you haven't had rice in a while, and you eat it, it might be all right. But if you have it fucking for the rest of your life, like the same fucking smell, the same texture, the same size, the same everything, it's gonna be so fucking boring. But that's why I'm like, I don't necessarily believe in, like, there's only so much you can do to spice things up too. Like, there's only so much you can do. Like, you're not going to be really able to, like, it's like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You could hook up with a 10 out of 10 bitch, right? A 10, you're fucking perfect ideal woman. And after a while, like after like, maybe for me, probably, I don't know. After, let's just say after fucking her 100 times, you're gonna probably get, like, you would want to fuck 6 out of 10. You would want to fuck a new 6 out of 10 rather than fuck your the 10 out of 10. And women can't understand that, but it's just like, it's just in our nature to want something new, to try something new, like to like spread the seed. Like, that's the whole point. Like, spread the seed. Like, that's, it's just like, fuck, like, and what's she gonna, like, it's the pheromones. You're like attracted to a new woman, a new body. Like, it's yeah, it's just because it's just so, it becomes, it's something like, there's always something like taboo about like fucking a new woman. Like, it's like, it's always going to be exciting, right? But like with the same woman, it's just yeah, you get just like I said, you get used to her smell, her taste. Like, you know how the sex is going to go down. You kind of, you can spice things up, try new different things, but then it's going to go in a decline, and there's not really much you can do to recover it. Like, there's really not, because you're already used to her. You're like, you get it. Like, you understand it. Like, it's like, it has less of an impact on you. It's like a drug, it just doesn't work as well. Like, it's like, man, I just know this smells so well. I know her, like, yeah, so you get it. That's why guys should just fucking, like, as soon as they, like, when you become high value, just unapologetically live the player lifestyle. Like, just fuck, like, bitch, you cannot lock me down. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how? No, like, what do you mean? No, I'm a man. You're not gonna have any control over me. No, as soon as any chick like tries to like say like get like heavy with me and start trying to like ask me, oh, who's this or what's this? So, I had some chick, there's these like rubber, like, girls kind of put their hairbands on this little speaker I have here on the table. And so I had one chick getting like, oh, whose is this? And I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. What is it? Like, I mean, I'm not going to tolerate, like, I'm not going to, like, I'm just not going to even entertain an argument about, like, no, I'm not your girlfriend. So, you have no power over me. You don't need to rub it in their faces that you're banging other girls. You don't need to, like, say it like that. You don't need to rub it in. But any girls like trying to restrict your freedom, basically trying to restrict your freedom as a man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You have no control over me. That's what you tell them. Get the fuck out. If they try and start interfere with your life, get the fuck out. Causing drama, no, get the fuck out. Like, no, I'm a free man. I value freedom over anything. Jason L says men are conquerors and explorers. Yeah, big facts. Men are conquerors and explorers. Well, they should be. No, your word says freedom is too precious to give it up like that. 100% agree. 100% agree. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, women just have it too easy. Like, I mean, I shared this before, but this kind of reminds me of it. I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun. It's just like girls, just like trying to restrict men's freedom, like trying to oh, I just want to find a high quality guy, and then they're like, they're living like thoughts themselves. They're fucking like they have fucked like more. Your average thought probably has fucked over 100 dudes, and they're like, oh, you better not cheat on me. You better be monogamous. Meanwhile, she's putting her butthole up on Instagram, like advertising for other Chad guys to come and smash her. She probably has her dating apps in the background on the go. These thoughts are like, it's all gynocentric. It's a gynocentric social order. And they're just like trying to cuck men. They're just trying to cuck men. It's all about power. It's all about power. Fun. I want to have some fun. It's just it sums up, this annoying ass song sums up so well how like the entitlement, the obnoxiousness, like just the sheer like annoyingness of Western women, of most Western women.
Hi, how are you?
I'm being harassed. This is harassment.
It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. That idea. It's like women. That's like that whole. We all saw with that. The whole Me Too. The whole Me Too thing. The whole Me Too thing where women were calling it like trying to claim that guys that sex that they regret sex was somehow like an assault or somehow illegal, and that was what like this idea like of a guy saying hello to a girl, like trying to like criminalize him. That's it's just gone too far, really. Like it's just gone too far. I want to have some fun. It's just so fucking annoying, that song, but it's a good kind of representation. But I mean, it's like it's kind of like it reminds me, a guy that a girl doesn't perceive to be, she doesn't like, basically, it doesn't attract her. Is like he could go up and do something very vanilla, like by saying, "Hey, how are you? Hi," or something, and she'd be like, "I'm in a rest." Like, "Oh, get the fuck out of my face." But if the guy's like high value enough, like, oh, not even necessarily high value, like if the guy's a Chad, like if the guy's if she's attracted to him, let's just say, if she's in a nightclub or whatever. I'm not saying any guy should do this. I'm not recommending it. I wouldn't do it. I don't do it. But the Chad guy can go and literally sexually harass her, and she might end up sleeping with him. And that's not a sexual strategy. I'm not condoning anything like that. But I'm just saying that literally does happen. Like, it does happen. It really does. I remember the most shocking thing I heard on a date before by this. It was this. I was on a date. It was from Bumble, and I'm not on any dating apps right now. I got sick of them. I way prefer Cold Approach and Day Game. But this story was fucking hilarious. So I was, sitting in the coffee shop with her, and I asked her. We started talking about nightclubs. And so I said, "Have you ever been to One Oak?" It's a nightclub in Tokyo. And she was like, I've been there a few times. She was like she was a little she was a westernized Taiwanese girl, and she was hot, but just very smug and very smug, let's just say. And it wasn't a very long date, but anyway, she said, yeah, I've been there a few times. And I was like, how, do you like it? And she was like, nah, it's all right. But the last time I was there, some guy grabbed my ass. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. And she was like, oh yeah, well, you know what? He wasn't even hot. And I was like, what? I was like, she was like, she emphasized, you know what? He wasn't even hot. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, if he was hot, it might have been all right. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh, I swear to God, she literally said that in and around those words. And I was like, okay, all right, sounds good. But it's just that just reminded me, that clip reminded me of it. A guy could be like perfectly normal guy could go up to her and say something completely vanilla, like just like, hey, how are you? And she'd be like, oh, this creep, this weirdo, this fucking weird, he's creeping me out. He's harassing me. He's harassing me. I'm gonna call the cops. I'm gonna try and get him fired from his job. I'm a hot bitch. I'm a boss bitch. Yeah. No shit. Oh man, it was so fucking, yeah. It just really reminded me that was a while ago. But my God, what a little bitch she was. I didn't last long. It was like, I really did not enjoy talking to her, because when girls start talking to me like that on a date, it's like, it's disrespectful. I can kind of read the signs. I can this bitch, or it's like sometimes girls start talking about their ex or guys that they fucked. Like, it's like literally girls, some hoes will do this. If you're using dating apps, some dirty little hoes will start talking about guys that they used to, like, they fucked. And it's like, all right, okay, this is like, this bitch has been a little disrespectful hoe. So I'll usually just try and close. I'll try and fuck them, and if they don't come through, I'll finish the date, because I've seen it time and time again when girls kind of behave in this kind of obnoxious, smug, like just overly confident, like talking like that. It's like, okay, this bitch is a red flag. Or it's like, this bitch is like, it's almost like she's kind of, when they start talking like that, it's almost like they're trying to cuck you, or they're trying to like, there's something about it that's like, it doesn't sit well. It leaves a really bad taste in my mouth when they start talking about, oh, like the Taiwanese chick where she said, if he was hot, like it might have been okay. And it was like, what is this girl trying to communicate? Like, what it, like, so I think pretty much right after that, I was like, well, you want to get out of here? And I tried to walk her, back to my place. But she said, oh, I have to go, or I have to have a meeting or some shit. She probably had a few other dates lined up that day. But yeah, I just like that kind of disrespect. Like, yeah, you shouldn't tolerate it. Yeah, obviously another red flag is if she starts talking about her exes or guys that she casually fucked, like from the dating app. And it's if you've gone on enough dates, you'll run into girls like this from dating apps, for sure. Jason L says she outed herself. She absolutely did. She completely outed herself. I'll never forget it. Just the way she said it, her little smug face. If he was hot, it might have been all right. It's like, wow, okay. So that's I'm not saying that any guy should do that. It's totally fucking retarded to go and grab some girl's ass. Like, there's strategies to like gradually like initiate like touch and stuff, like to understand like if it's okay or not. You can do that like slow, like you never just go and grab a girl's ass, and it's like, I'm not trying to like, be this like, oh, why, this you get what I'm saying. It's not that I'm trying to because I know that it could work, but it's not a good strategy. But the risk reward is just not, it's not worth it, and you're gonna get yourself in a lot of trouble if you behave like that. But it's just funny, like hearing it out of girls' mouths, hearing her say that. It's just so confidently, so blatantly, like, if he was hot, it would have been all right. It might have been all right. Yeah, naughty little bitch. Aaron R says she's subcommuting her internal gynocentric thoughts and hypergamy. Hot guys that I am attracted to can harass me, but not ugly guys. Yeah, it's very true. And I mean, the look of disgust on her face when she said he wasn't even hot. It's like, it's because when girls get hit on by guys that they perceive as being, below them, or they see it as an insult, like a heavy insult. They see it as like an attack. Like, it's like, because they think, how's this guy think he has a chance with me? That's why some girls get so irate, get so angry, or so. That's why some of them are so fucking cold, or almost confrontational when some guys approach them, because this girl's like, so I'm too good for this guy. I'm like, how dare he think he has a chance with me? And it's even funnier. It's even funnier when the girl is like, definitely, this is why you should never approach girls that you think that you're not interested in, really. Like, some guys might start trying to grab some low-hanging fruit. It's like, it's not really worth it. Like, you just go for the girls that you are genuinely attracted to. It's not worth going for the low-hanging fruit, because sometimes these low-hanging fruit, like, sometimes these girls, like, they'll think they're the shit, especially in this day and age, especially in this, like, gynocentric, like, you go girl, boss bitch, everyone's a boss, hot bitch, everyone's a hottie, everyone's sexy, everyone's like, oh my god, you go girl, like, all this like fake fucking bullshit that girls are fed through social media. They just get inundated with like simps and to praise for nothing. Praise for what? Like, it always amazes me, like these like whales will put up, like, you'll see girls on Instagram that are like overweight, sometimes obese, and sometimes they'll have hot friends or whatever, but they're all like, she'll put up, the obese girl will put up a bikini photo or whatever, and her comment section will be all her friends, all her female friends, saying like, and some simp guys saying, oh, you're so hot, you're beautiful, oh, you go girl, you're hot, sexy, so, like, fire signs, all that shit. So they're just like, they get these inflated false sense of like grandeur, and it's just so sometimes and plus these girls that are they're overweight or whatever, but they've still probably smashed with guys way out of their league due to male nature. See, it's also male nature. Males are also dogs. Like, males are also the ones that are perpetuating this cycle, because males are the really horny ones. Like, we're the ones that are like guys will punch down. Like, guys will punch down. They might not admit it. They'll keep that shit close to their chest. Like, they'll have hooked up with chicks that are like way below them. Even some of the very good looking guys. And they'll keep that. They won't share it with even friends. Like, they'll just like, it's a Tuesday night, swipe right on Tinder, hook up with this. She's a bit dodgy, but she's willing to come over. It might be. So these girls, this is what I'm trying to say, is that their inflated egos is, you can't underestimate it. You cannot underestimate it. So you might even, like, if you go and try and approach some low hanging fruit, she might like treat you like one of the, like, obnoxious hotties, and might not be any different, maybe even the hot girl, like, you could even end up smashing like the 10 out of 10, but you couldn't go and like approach a 5 out of 10, and the 5 out of 10 be like, hey, stop bothering me, hey, you're harassing me. You go and approach a 10 out of 10, she gives you a number, you get the date, you smash. You might even fuck her on the same day if you try same day lays. On speaking on that note, check out if you're interested in learning more about this stuff, we're launching Pandemic Pickup Delta variant September 30th. Access to Pandemic Pickup 1.0, 10 online modules on online game mastery featuring modern life dating, 10 modules on day game featuring Mac the Day Gamer. I talk about all kinds of day game, including same day lays, which I just mentioned. There's a module on same day lays and how to do that. And it's all stuff I've done. It's worked for me. It's worked for all the guys I've coached. It's worked for, it works basically. Exclusive modules on consensual sexual escalation with female model. This stuff is gold because, especially for stuff like same day lays, because it's so fast. Like, you meet a girl, you bring her back to your place. You might not have like touched her at all. You might not have broken that physical barrier. So like these consensual sexual escalation modules will show you how to like initiate like that, get that like intimacy started, how to start it off in very like natural, relaxed ways, smooth ways. I've used, like, if you sign up to this course and you see them, you're going to see exactly how I escalate. You're going to see how I do it. Like, you're going to see, because I use all of these. Like, I switch them up sometimes. I use more, some more than others, but I've used all of these to sexually escalate. 5 webinars on pure games starting October 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Telegram chat for pure pickup game until the end of the year. Pretty fucking sweet deal in my honest opinion. And if you're interested in that, go to my homepage, mactodaygamer.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, put your email address in here, best email, and then you will get the sign up link when we launch on the 30th. And you should use my sign up link because that helps me out for sure. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, click the link, put the link in the chat to my website, get on there. Let's see. Kanfa Chan says, from my experience, the greater the bitchiness, the shittier the sexual experience. You did well not to fuck her. Yeah, possibly. Sometimes it can be, she can be a bitch and the sex can be fire because it's kind of that tension. But in other times it can be not great. Yeah. It depends really. But yeah, you don't want to be dealing with bitches, like, annoying kind of confrontational hoes. It is what it is. Says girls will take shit from any solid 10 dude. A lot of respect if they hold their ground. Yep. Girls, yeah, different rules. Yeah. What is it? Make rules for betas, break rules for alphas. Very true. Chase Zemenak says, have you tried semen retention? I started doing it, made my game and daddy energy go way up. Yeah, I'm not like a maximalist like on semen retention. I know guys that can take, I think guys can take it too far. and it can be kind of counterproductive. I don't think it's healthy to retain your semen for very like for weeks. Like if you're, I mean, like definitely work like jerking off and busting your load from jerking off, masturbating every day is a bad idea. Like it should be kept to a minimum if you're doing it at all. Ideally you want to be busting your loads with chicks, but I just think it can be counterproductive. I think guys can take it too far, but you should definitely try, like less is better. But like jerking off, if you need to do it, sometimes you just like you need to do it. Like if you know you're not going to be getting laid, like and you're kind of busy or whatever for the next few days or whatever, you're like you're laying in bed and you're fucking horny as fuck and you're trying to sleep but you can't because you're horny. You can bust a nut. It's not going to be the end of the world, but I definitely think, trying to retain it for like, to increase your energy is a good idea, but you don't need to be a maximalist about it. That's just my opinion. Aaron Orr says, some guys can get away with harassment, but the old guys or ugly guys can't. I saw a video where a guy posted a model photo on his online profile, but in description put he was criminal. Oh yeah, that's a famous Tinder experiment that you're talking about. Yeah, I covered that in one of my episodes. I did a live stream about it. A Tinder experiment. Yeah, pretty viral one. It is what it is. Says same things with rock stars, man. Bunch of usually skinny cokeheads that can shred, but they are covered in pussy. Yeah, I mean clout goes a long way. Clout goes a long way with these hoes. Like, I mean, something as like having a blue check mark, things like that. Chicks will cream their pants for it. Chicks love the clout. They love the clout a lot. Daniel Mendez says, ready to get on the course. I'm on a plateau when it comes to improving my game. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. It's gonna be good. Good time. A lot of good information in there. Chase Zemenak says, the longer I retain, the more it seems subconsciously girls want my seed. My instincts and willingness to make moves goes way up as well. I agree. I agree. Like retaining your semen for as long as possible is a good idea. It definitely increases your. There's definitely something in it where women will be more receptive to you. There's something there. I've seen it. I've experimented with it, but I'm just saying I'm not a maximalist where I'm not gonna. Let's just say I'm not gonna lose a night's sleep, because I have a very high sex drive, so it's not. If I'm alone and I can't sleep, I'm gonna bust a nut. It's just I'm not a maximalist about it. So that's just my opinion. I'm not a maximalist about most things. I'm pretty reasonable about most things. It's just I know guys that some guys go months and it's just like, is it really worth it? Like, I mean, if you're still not getting laid after months of retaining your semen, like, I mean, what, but yeah, I mean, more like trying to retain it is better. There's something in it. Like when I go out, and I'm fully loaded, and say I haven't busted a nut in a few days, yeah, it sharpens my game up. Like it sharpens my game. It gets like very can be very. You can escalate kind of quickly with girls, and it's yeah, it's if you want to go out and do day game, you should in my opinion you should be going out fully loaded. Fully loaded, you can increase the sexual tension that way. It is what it is. Says as long as you aren't a cuck who wastes seed on porn every day, then you're fine. Ideally get some girls to help you out. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just it's just wasteful. It's just wasteful. Put it this way, like let's just say if you're like you should never be like jerking off in daytime. Like if you're ever gonna jerk off, like if you ever have to do it, it should be when you're fucking in bed, you're tired, you're ready to go to sleep. The only reason you're gonna do it is because you can't sleep. You should not be in it. Like the idea of you like wasting seed, like when it's bright outside and watching porn, it's sick. Like you should, that's fucked up. Like that is fucked up because it drains your energy too. It's like you're wasting energy. Like it's a total waste. It's garbage. But if you're gonna do it, like the only time, in my opinion, you should ever do it is when you're ready to sleep and you're like trying to sleep. But the only reason you can't sleep is because you're fucking shit. I'm so goddamn horny that I just need to bust a nut. And instead of like having it rolling around in your bed with a fucking boner, you can bust a nut. It's not going to be the end of the world. And even when you do it, you shouldn't be like looking at porn while you use your imagination. Use your imagination, like instead of like looking at imagery. Instead of, because you become reliant on imagery then, and it's just it's not the best. But I think I've made my position clear on that. It's not like, you shouldn't really be a maximalist about most things. You should like be open to doing stuff now and again. Chase says, porn fucks your game up. Retaining alone will make your game go way up. No dating advice needed, although retaining and pickup skills make you slay like crazy. I mean, going out with a loaded gun is ideal. That's for sure. Daniel says, do you think some guys can have sex drive beyond the normal range? I think I do. I think I do. I think I do. I mean, if I'm very attracted to the girl, I mean, it depends. I mean, some guys obviously can. People are different. Like there's a spectrum of guys. We're not all the same. I think, some guys will be done after one round, and he's done for the night. Like he's not gonna fuck again, or maybe 2 times. But if I'm very attracted to the girl, like if I'm very attracted, God knows. I mean, especially if it's like the first time that we're banging. If it's like the first time and I haven't smashed in a few days or a week, and it's like I'm very, and she stays over, I could bang out like 7 times in a night. I can still do. I'm 33 years old. Yeah, I can do that. I've done that recently. 7 times. I'm 33. I think I have a pretty damn high sex drive, to be honest. Hence my lifestyle. Fredo7 says, why do you think most Japanese girls are less obese than Western ones? Genetics and also lifestyle, culture, mixture of things. There's not really one reason. It's definitely genetics do play a part. There's different, there's different body types. I mean, it's hard. It's pretty hard for me to. It's very hard. Like I can eat pretty much whatever I want. I put on a little bit of belly fat, but it's like my body doesn't like. I'm never gonna have fat hands. It's at that level. Some people just put on weight. Like I don't think I'm ever like. I don't think it's possible for me to have fat hands. That kind of way. But like it's like Japanese. Like it's same with I think there's just more ectomorph body types in Japan. That gene, it's like where people actually, even if they did eat a lot, it would be hard for them to gain, like to get obese. I don't know. Mixture, good diet as well. The whole culture of them wanting to be feminine and beautiful too. So they're winning on all levels. Like Japanese women are trashing like Western women. They can't compete. That's why Western women don't stay here. They stay for like a year or two, and then they bounce off with their tails between their legs, kind of thing. It is what it is. Says, how's your neck there, Mac? It's not too bad, man. I mean, I'm just resting it. I had to take some fucking painkillers. I went and got it checked out because it was pretty bad. I couldn't turn it. I'm just resting it, and I got some meds for it to try and, like, you know, I've had this injury before. Unfortunately, I've had it. It's kind of a thing. I got hit by a fucking by a car like about 3 years ago when I was on my bike. Some prick. But it's kind of a recurring thing. So I kind of know what I have to do to like recover from it. Just rest it. And that's kind of what's had me depressed about it, is that shit. I know I'm not going to be able to work out for a while. And I love working out. Like it gives me those endorphins. I enjoy it. It's like going to work out for me is not like a chore. Like it's like I enjoy it. Like it's a nice part of my day. I enjoy it. I made up with my mate. We work out. We have a good time. We talk. You know, so that's what like got me fucking down about it. You know, but it is what it is. That's life. Life is not all like this easy path. Like there's throw little shit at you all like here and there, and sometimes big shit. You just have to deal with it. Not, you know, we're not all going to be in perfect health all the time. You know, it's going to be like you have to like manage your health. Martin A says, are those blue blockers you're wearing, and do you wear them with your attire sometimes during the day game? Yeah, man. I mean, I don't wear these ones too much. This is kind of my live stream glasses. They're just Polaroid sunglasses. I don't know if they're blue blockers or not, but I've worn these during day game a few times. I have a pair of glasses. They're like kind of like where are they? Let me show you. Let's see. Okay. So I've worn these during day game, these ones, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about these glasses, but I have gotten with some of the hottest girls wearing these. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just something like a little bit different, maybe. Like when you're doing day game, you want something a little bit unique about you. A little bit. I think it helps. I definitely think it helps. Like having something a little bit, you know, that separates you from the crowd. It does, you know, it doesn't need to be like this crazy peacocking, like crazy attire. Although you could play it that way as well, but you know, it's just these glasses. I don't know. I have picked up some seriously hot girls wearing these shades, but yeah, you should have something about you, something unique. It does help. It does help. Definitely does. So yeah. Know Your Word says, goddamn, I know the feeling. Had my motorcycle accident a little under a year ago, but I bounced back. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. I'm glad everything worked out, and you're back. You're back to, you know, full health. That's awesome. Take care on the bike, bro. Take care on that bike. Chase Zemnak says, what's your daily schedule look like, brother? It's different. I could do an episode on that. It's I don't have like a daily schedule. I'm a very kind of haphazard guy. I probably could do with having a better schedule, but you know, I don't know where to start. It's kind of random, to be honest. Up and Adam says, masturbating too much can lower T levels. I agree. I think you shouldn't. You should keep it to a minimum. I don't disagree with that. But now and again is not gonna. If busting a nut, if jerking off now and again is gonna lower your T levels, you might want to look. I don't know. You might want to work on getting higher in your testosterone, because it really shouldn't affect you that much. Martin says, those look dope. I have a similar design but with a yellow tint. Might have to try it out. Yeah, man. I mean, have something about you, like a little bit unique, a little bit different. It helps out. Play around with different things, and you might feel weird doing it sometimes, but once you get fully comfortable about yourself, like fully comfortable in your own skin and your own clothes, then then you can have some fun with day game. It is what it is. Same over here in America. Legit wore some golden red tinted glasses and had so many compliments on them, and to me, I think they look ugly. Yeah. So guys, probably gonna leave it there. I'm gonna meet some hottie that I cold approached the other day, so we'll see what happens with her. But on that note, remember to if you're interested in the if you're interested in pandemic pickup Delta variant, head on over to my website, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and put your best email in here in the subscribe bar. And when we launch pandemic pickup on the 30th, I will send you the sign up link to the course, and it will help me out if you use that link. And it's going to be a dope course. It's going to be a good time. And it's really gonna level up if you're dating, your dating in general. It's just gonna help you get laid if you feel like you've reached a point where you don't know what to do, or you want to level up. It's gonna help you level up for sure. So yeah, guys, smash the like, comment, subscribe. YouTube hates this kind of content. So I gotta fight the algorithm, kind of grow the channel organically, because it's not gonna grow like naturally through the algorithm or anything like that. It's just like growing through word of mouth, all that stuff. So I'll be back. What day is today? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning or Thursday night Eastern Standard, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, guys. Same time tomorrow. Peace out. Bye-bye.